Hey ladies, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a video on 4 ways to protect your mental energy or to protect your peace. So the first thing that I would say is spend time in the word and in prayer. As we can see over the last year, from March 2020 to now in 2021, it's been a lot of fear, confusion, depression, loneliness, anxiety, a lot of changes, being told one thing is happening, then being told another thing is happening. It's been a highly stressful time and the world has been changing a lot. But the one thing for me that never changes, or the one person, is God and his word. So that's what I would say. Stay connected to him, stay in prayer every day, spend time in the word, learning more and more about him and trust in him. Tell him how you feel about certain things. Even today, I had to have like a really honest conversation with God and just say certain things that I was feeling frustrated about. And it's weird because a few weeks before that, I felt like I was even starting to like put on a front with God, like, oh, I feel quite frustrated about this thing or that thing, but I don't actually want to tell God, the person who knows every single thing about me. Isn't that crazy? So that's one thing that I have to say. I have to start off with that. The word God never changes. Put your faith in him and he will give you that stability that you need. Yeah. The second thing is check in on family and friends every week. So I don't know if you want to build like a timetable for it, whatever it may be. I just remembered, actually I actually wanted to do like a printout and write down, like laminate it and say who do I need to call this week, or who do I need to call this month, because for me it's that necessary. Because a lot of times it's so easy to say, especially when you're a mom and you have children. But for everybody is going through something, or most of the time you may be going through something. Everybody is busy. So if we always use busyness as an excuse to not check in with people, we really need to consider, is that person as important to me as I think they are? You know what I mean? Or, and let's be fair. Sometimes you are going through something and you don't feel like talking, and that's okay. Sometimes you just really need that space to be in your own thoughts and talk to God, or maybe talk to those extremely closest to you. But just considering the time that we have been in, it's so important to check in on someone. Even if you can't give them a call, send a voice note or send a text just to say, do you know what? I was thinking of you. I'm praying for you, just to let you know that I'm thinking of you. You never know. That could be the thing that brightens up someone's whole mood, to know, wow, someone is actually praying for me. Because let's keep it real. How many times do you see text and it says, oh, pray for me on this? And you're like, yeah, yeah, I'll pray for you. And then two twos, you forget to even pray about that thing. So when someone comes to your mind, pray for them and take it a step further and call them, because people appreciate it. And everyone's busy, so sometimes by the time you speak, you probably have like a 5 minute or 10 minute conversation, even maybe longer. But at least you've both checked in on each other. So every week, find someone to connect with. It's imperative, and it's a way to maintain the relationships. It's something that we have to do. So please do that more. In spite of your busyness, connect with people. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is know when to take social media breaks. Now, when you're using social media as a means to promote business or ministry, like, you're going to find yourself on there a lot. um but what I would say is, and there's been articles on this, there's been documentaries on this. I do believe social media, I do think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful creation, because I don't know, some people be like it's the worst thing that ever happened to society. I don't know. And some argue, could it even be called social media because it makes us less social? But I guess that's a whole other video. But what I'm really trying to say is, yes, it's important to go on there, plug in, maybe, see what's going on. You may be on no social media, that's okay. But what I would say is, because there's such an influx of information, you need to know when to have a brain break. And especially with regards to all that's been going on in the past year, with the racial tensions, what's been happening with COVID and so on. Like, when you just have like this barrage of information, it can be overwhelming and it can be too much. And there's something that I actually wanted to mention, a definition that I wanted to give you, because other than, the different things that happen in the world, it's different topics. But a lot of times when you're constantly seeing like sad news, this happened, that happened, that happened, you can actually get something called compassion fatigue. I think I found out about this term last year. And Oxford Languages defines compassion fatigue as indifference to charitable appeals on behalf of suffering people, experienced as a result of the frequency or number of such appeals. Yeah. Sorry. And Wikipedia defines compassion fatigue as a condition characterized by emotional and physical exhaustion, leading to a diminished ability to empathize or feel compassion for others, often described as the negative cost of caring. It is sometimes referred to as secondary traumatic stress. According to the Professional Quality of Life Scale, burnout and STS, secondary traumatic stress, are two interwoven elements of compassion fatigue. So life is already overwhelming enough off social media. So again, as I said, when you're on there and you're seeing constantly just information, this thing happened. And yes, sometimes you do see some beautiful things happening, or there are really positive videos that go viral, which is really lovely. But a lot of the time there's a lot of negativity, it's a lot of people's opinions, a lot of toxicity, you know what I mean? So just know when to say, do you know what, okay, I've been on a couple hours, well, even a couple hours a day is a lot still, to be honest, but maybe I've been on, for 30 minutes a day, that's enough. Or I went on today, maybe I don't necessarily need to go on tomorrow, I can go on the day after. However you want to do it, just know it's okay. Like, it's not going to run away, it's still going to be there. Yeah, so just know when to pull back. The fourth and last point that I wanted to make is, well, it kind of ties in with social media as well. Research all of the facts before you get pent up over things. And this is something that I have to remember for myself, because yes, it's not that we shouldn't care at all. We need to care. It's important to be a caring individual, but there have been times, I must admit, where I've heard half a story, or a quarter of a story even, and I'm getting pent up, getting all into my feelings, and maybe I've said something about it, whether it's to friends or family or on social media, whatever it may be, and you come to find out the rest of the story and you kind of feel like, oh, okay, that's what happened there. Oh, okay, I see. So sometimes, because there's even this whole thing of fake news, and unfortunately people even question the validity of known news sources now, like CNN or BBC, Sky News. People even look at those platforms and give them the side eye nowadays, and those are kind of more known as reputable news sources. So what I would say is, just check all the facts, like look at different newspaper articles, because remember, everyone has their own agenda. Like if for example, one media source has one political view, they're going to be biased and tell the news from their political standpoint. Do you get what I'm saying? So you know is people say they can be objective, but I think a lot of times people really struggle to actually just say, let me put my feelings to side, sorry, to side, let me put my feelings to the side and really just report on what's happening without putting my own little 2 pence in there. So to go over those four things again: spend time in the word and in prayer, check in on family and friends every week. What's the third one? Know when to take social media breaks, and research all the facts before you get pent up over things. So I really hope that was helpful, and let me know in the comments, what are you doing to protect your peace? Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Spread the word, support your sister. And I hope that you have a lovely day, and I hope you have a more peaceful week ahead. Bye.